12 days, no food, no medical care. Every day we were subjected to torture. In fact, because I just have to come because medically I'm not fine. I was released on the 1st of March. My phone was being tracked. The funny part of this scenario is that when we were being kidnapped, it was 3 minutes or 2 minutes checking point. When the first ransom was paid by a young man in Badoo, they paid the ransom very close to the checking point. When the second ransom was paid by a lady in Kwara State, the money was paid. If you know Akama very well, if I go to Abuja, at the back of the woman that is selling food, the second ransom was paid there. The third ransom was paid opposite Nigeria prison service, very close to the military checking point. My own ransom, I was to be paid in Ikare and Akoko, but because my phone was being tracked, they have to check location. So a day I was released, they knew that I cannot go because sustained tubular injury. I have been weak. One of them just have to go to a journey, about 3 hours journey. They went to go and prepare their goal. They gave me the house to drink. After drinking the house, I slept for 2 hours. They carried the leaf and put it in the back of my yansh where there's bullet. So they just told me that we are proceeding on a journey. I have to call, I have to plead that I want to talk to my wife. If I plead I want to make up, I must subject to beating. And the reason why is because I'm a leader of Afenifere. The Afenifere has been giving the Fulani and the Hausa some challenges. Because they told me the point where I'm going, that every Yoruba, every sons and daughters of Yoruba must rise and must defend our land. I'm so glad that we have thousands of police here. It's a funny thing that the so-called Amateku, let me just put it that way, they're following the political appointment. May so rest in peace, my great governor, Rotimi Akeredolu. If the man is alive, I can assure you that it will enforce all the Amateku in Southwest to go after those people. Since Akeredolu have died, Amateku, they don't function like they will be functioning. So, as I was saying, so on that day, they told me we were going on a journey. I just have to look at the time. The time was on the 28th of February. The time was 3 or 4:23. We started the journey between 43 until the second day, 5 a.m. We're trekking in the bush. No food, no water. In the morning, they asked me to call my wife. I called my wife. My wife said the ransom has complete. I paid much of about the money. Nigeria stood up. London, everybody, my family contributed money. So that I won't be able to die. But thank God that I came out alive to tell my story. Because a lot of people have been kidnapping, but they fear us. They can't come out to say all this. And I discovered that we were trekking from Kapa. We trekked to Ibilo in Edo State. Ibilo in Edo State, I have the authority to say is the whole of the Fulani who are kidnapping or terrorizing us in Southwest. In fact, that day, my wife and my younger brother with Nigerian Foreign Service, they counted about 5 new motorcycles that was trailing them to the bush, and the money was paid again very close to Nigeria military checking point. So definitely something is going on between our sons and these people. The money was paid. After the money was paid, I was released on the 1st of March. Then they took me to Ikare Hospital where the first surgery was commenced and the second surgery was done about 2 weeks ago. But my message to Southwest Governor, because their first priority is to protect life and property. A place where there's insecurity, there's no how you can create jobs, there's no how investors want to come to that state. No matter how the potential of resources you want to have, nobody will come and invest. I have a message for Ondo State Governor, very important. I have a message for the State Governor, very important. I have a message for Osun State, Ekiti State, and Lagos State, very important. Because I've said I'm not going to release any information based on the national security. I will take, and this Fulani expert, they showed me 5 camps that they have in our land. And they told me in Ondo, they have 26. I will continue to be saying that 26 camps of the terrorists in Ondo State and other part of Southwest making 53 camps. If somebody can have 55 camps in a particular region, tell me. After I was released by the Fulani men, Akure North was attacked because they told me that they are coming. When I was born, be only, Lord only. So my fathers and leaders of the Yoruba, it is a very urgent, like already I have said, life and security of our people is very paramount to us, and we must protect it. We must protect our heritage. State police, community police, if they are named for the Southwest government to come back and retake it to restructure their Amateku security network, putting the right people. Don't appoint them based on party member that cannot enforce criminals. put in the right people that can be able to save the lands of Yoruba. And Mr. President, you have the right to do the same thing now because you're Yoruba man, so that your name can be right in good. All this thing that is happening, it cannot happen to anybody in the north. Now it's happening in those states. Nobody is supporting jungle justice. It's happening in Arizona. They are going to against us. When there was a young girl was killed in daylight in the northern part, what are these people doing? Yoruba are traditionally, we are not a slave. It is time that we stand up and defend our identity. My name Prince Enola Ojajuni.
Pastor, our mojo still alone shower. I check on the way what you will. You are mad now, you pack by the let on Bible to the Ojet Bessa better to go bury to go with our veg cotera, bury the by your bill. I will yarn. Omo Igbo wa in Bible go but of them Jesus. Jesus kọjá ní àárín wọn gẹ̀rí Jésù kí ni Jésù lò àfẹ́ rí ló lò ìwọ má dira ayé bàjẹ́.
You heard the story. Eniola Ojajuni is the president of national president of Afenifere Youth, a Yoruba social, cultural, political group, and his experience in the hands of the terrorists. You know, he was kidnapped in those states. They made him trek to as far as Kogi State, even those states. Ransoms. He said it was ambushed just about 3 minutes after military checkpoint. Many victims have actually shared similar stories of when they got kidnapped. It wasn't far away from the military checkpoints, and then when they were paying ransoms as well, it was not also far from the military checkpoints. But those who actually kidnapped them, they were Fulani terrorists, armed. 18 bullets were shot at his own car, and more bullets were shot at other travelers before they kidnapped 9 travelers. They demanded for 100 million naira before they would free him. He was with them, like he said, right, for nearly a month. He was kidnapped in February, and he was freed on the 1st of March. From his own experience, he's just so lucky to live to tell his own story. So calling on the governors, he did mention the supposed paper tiger nature of the Amotekun. You know, Amotekun was created, right, to combat these Fulani marauders primarily. But for political exigencies and world of view, for Tinubu's ambition, they ensured that they are not armed. And yeah, Bokwari ensured that they were not armed, and they agreed. Okay, now you have Tinubu, a Yoruba man, as your president. I wonder how long it is going to take before Amotekun is armed. Then he also mentioned something about the recruitment into Amotekun, where they are actually giving the job of securing the lives of the people from the AK-47 wielding Fulani terrorists. They are giving that to their party members, like using party party loyalty, party affiliation to recruit people into a security architecture. So there's so much and so many things wrong. Okay, so like I said, also Edo State is the capital of the Fulani terrorists, including those ones who are operating in the southwest Yoruba land. They will end up, they end up having their headquarters in Edo. The people of Edo they have seen shege that their mouth cannot actually describe for real. One of the reasons why they said it is the PTSD, the trauma that they have suffered, and the PTSD from that trauma they've suffered. That is why they had to unleash their mob mentality and attack the supposed Hausa travelers, hunters. Sure, you get now. Because if the Edo people are allowed to actually tell you what they have been through or what they are going through in the hands of the Fulani terrorists in their domain and outside their domain as well, right? Well, you are likely going to possibly back them. You don't like mob justice, jungle justice, but somehow, you may end up having to give a pass. Yeah. Yesterday, we shared, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, rather, right? So we shared the story of this northern group called the Concerned Northern Citizens, who because of what happened in Uromi, Edo State, so they came out to condemn it, and then they gave some conditions like the perpetrators, the mob, must be paraded, compensation must also be paid, to the families of these traveling Hausa hunters, okay? And so many other things that they even said, if it seems that they are no longer safe in Nigeria, Northerners are not safe in Nigeria. So we need to, we don't mind at this point to opt out of this union. That is what Najatu Muhammad said, and they have the blessing of the Arewa Consultative Forum, as well as the Northern Elders Forum, something that, but ironically, the day they were all speaking to the press in Abuja was also the same day the Fulani terrorists attacked 5 communities in Boko's local government area of Plateau State. Guess what? One of the conveners of this their Northern Concerned Citizens rage or outrage over what happened in Uromi, 16 travelers killed, right? The guy that is the co-organizer, Solomon Dalongi, a former minister himself under Bokwari, the government that came to, introduce the Fulani terrorists to us while helping the Boko Haram ISWAP to also sort of like establish or remain kind of like solid. Okay, so now we are battling with the Fulani terrorists. Okay, that same day, this Solomon Dalong was from this same state. I don't know if he's from Bokos himself or not. And one of these northerners decided to take them to the gutters. It was like, well, it wouldn't be a bad idea if you can call another press conference and at least speak for the people of Bokos. They are northerners, when it is politically convenient, right? Middle Belt is part of the north. They will tell you that they have 19 states in the north, including the Middle Belt, right? When it is politically convenient. So if the north is angry that the Uromi people in Edo states, use the jungle justice to kill innocent Hausa travelers, what happened to these 12 other people killed? Some said the number is actually more than that, right? But what happened to the people killed by the Fulani terrorists in Bokos? Or are you trying to cook whatever story you can cook around it so that, it won't be like it's done by the Fulanis? Listen to this guy.
I saw something that someone, I think former minister Solomon Dalung, did in the company of some northerners, calling on the federal government and the southern governors and all of that to do something with regards to the Edo case. He referred to himself as a northerner and all of that. Now, my message to Solomon Dalung is that it's deliberate they chose you as Solomon Dalung to pull that stunt. I call it a stunt because the truth is you are not just a Christian, but you are from a state where Islamists have formed a habit of killing hundreds in even one single attack, and nobody does anything about it. We haven't seen that kind of outreach from you. We haven't seen such ultimatums or threats coming from you. But you are picking it up on behalf of Northerners in a case where reports are coming out that actually there was intelligence that those people were not actually innocent after all. So we don't even want to entertain that other side of the story. Why? Simply because certain key elements in the North have decided to cover them up by claiming they were innocent, and they are already demanding compensations, and you are joining in with them. I want to let you know that one, you are not a Northerner, and in a million lifetimes, they will never accept you as one. If possibly that was the measure you took, thinking it will make you acceptable. Perhaps you may make a ministerial appointment and all of that, but that wouldn't really help. Now, I'm speaking to you as a man of conscience. I'm speaking to you as a man who fears God. As far as you are concerned, and your fellow Muslim brothers from the plateau, I'm not talking about those who come in to settle and claim that they own the state. I'm talking about indigents that are Muslims. Yourself, those indigents, even those that are Muslims, the Adolites, Muslims and Christians, in the eyes of those people that are using you to send that threat or those messages, you are all infidels, and they will never treat you anything beyond that. And for you to agree with what I'm saying, I dare challenge you as a Christian. I dare challenge you. Gather those same people, whether the generals or whoever they may be you held that press conference with, and ask them to host another press conference and condemn the killing of Deborah. And then let's see how that turns out. But it's rather unfortunate that locally and internationally, the Christians have been made an endangered species. It's a normal thing now to just wake up to 100 Christians being killed, an entire community being sacked, women being taken, women raped, farms being destroyed, and all of that. And everybody knows who does this. It is the Fulani jihadists. They do it. You hear rape in Edo, it is the same people. In Benue, it's the same people. In Enugu, it's the same people. In Ondo, it's the same people. In Southern Kaduna, it's the same people. And yet by some, I don't know what to call it, whether a miracle, they go all around crime victims everywhere. They kill people in their hundreds, they rape women. And each time one of them runs out of luck and gets killed, you have an outrage from the entire North demanding compensation and claiming that they are innocent. Why is it happening? But then I would ask you, where are the Christian elite? Where are the politicians? Where are the generals? Where are the governors? Where are the senators? Where are the House of Rep members? We can't live a cowardly lifestyle simply because we are Christians. And there is a responsibility on our shoulders. Your strength and your vigor is not all about making it to the Senate, collecting huge sums, going to the village and sharing chicken change to people. You owe the community a responsibility. Stand with them, defend them. And by divine right, self-defense is ours. Internationally, it's a law. When we become endangered species, self-preservation is not an option. That is all that we have left. So I'd call on communities to organize themselves as far as it lies within the laws of God and the laws of the land, the laws of international, the international community. We owe ourselves that responsibility. Enough of waiting and waiting and waiting for security to come and defend us. They have never come to our rescue. They have never come to our rescue. There's a higher tendency that when people attack, when this Islamist attack and they meet stark resistance, or possibly they meet some local vigilante or young people who have decided we are tired of being killed, there's a higher tendency the military could come and waste them, because it has happened in Mongu. So that is quite painful. And I think the military owes a responsibility of searching within their ranks. If there are compromises, let them deal with it. But then if you cannot defend the innocent people, if you cannot defend Christian communities, then Christian communities have the responsibility to rise and defend themselves. Basically, the fact that we confess the love of Christ and we love Jesus and we love peace, it's a biblical injunction. Much as it lies in our power, we must live with peace, at peace with everyone. But that doesn't really mean we must become soft targets. People who are known for nothing other than mass burials and then continuing to call on government to come and save them. It cannot continue. We are an endangered species. We are an endangered species, and self-preservation.
Anarchy loans. Anarchy loans. anarchy looms.
Need I say more? You know? So the highlight of that episode that you watched is that no matter how much a middle belton, because of politics or any other kind of promises given to him by these Fulani terrorist sympathizers, their elites and others who claim to be northerners in this regard, right? But their their concern is mostly for Fulani or Hausa. In truest, I mean, in reality, Kerry, Hausa can't wait to actually have their own pound of flesh on Fulanis in reality. So no matter how much